All right, we are live. We're back with a new name, a new brand.
Fired up, baby.
Fired up.
Fired up, baby.
Yep, fired up. And I know I'm fired up, and Derek is fired up, and we have a lot of new subscribers to the show. So I'm Rashid. This is Derek.
Derek, yep.
We welcome you. We're fired up. You fired up, man?
I'm always fired up talking about sports, man.
All right, we got the water over here, to actually cool you off if if you're not, if you need to get unfired up.
Smart water with electrolytes. Still get it. Smart water. I just put you out there, gave you a little extra advertisement, man. Smart water with electrolytes is a new one.
Well,
okay?
Listen, you're smart for drinking water, right?
That's right. Gotta be drinking water, baby. We're gonna need some hydration for this nonsense, boy. That's going on in professional sports, man. So we're gonna be talking about today, man?
All right, let's start off with the let's start off with the actual Eastern Conference Finals, between the Bucks and the Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto won 4 straight, won in 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
I was categorically wrong, and I thought that
where are you now?
that the Bucks would win an actual 5, in 5 games, and Barrick just thought.
I thought it was going 7.
Yeah, he thought it was going 7 games, but I think who you had, Milwaukee, or you had actually.
I had Milwaukee in 7.
Out, right?
I did have Milwaukee in 7. But I felt like if you were able to get outside jump shots going on and free and open up the court a little bit for Giannis to operate, you had an ability to be successful. Obviously, it didn't turn out that way, and it starts from Nick Nurse's ability to make adjustments, especially putting Kawhi Leonard on Giannis at the very end of the last 2 games of that series, which obviously, the big word out there was, well, Milwaukee didn't lose 2 in a row at all at one time during the season. They wouldn't lose 3 in a row. They couldn't lose 4 in a row. What happened? It happened because they took away the paint and they forced Milwaukee's outside shooters to beat them, which they did not do. It's very simple. And you got to credit Nick Nurse for outdoing Budenholzer on this, because Budenholzer is a great coach. Does not deny that. He's a head coach. He's going to be a coach of the year for the success that Milwaukee's had this year. However, he was outcoached by Nick Nurse during the middle of the Eastern Conference Finals. And by putting Kawhi, who is injured, by the way, who is walking around practically on one leg, shut down Giannis. Took him away from what he does best, which is getting penetration into the paint. So clearly, we'll talk about Giannis's inabilities hopefully later on, but that was the main reason why I think.
No, not later on. We're going to talk about this right here, right now.
Yeah, well, Milwaukee's going
now.
Milwaukee's going because there's some things they can't do. There's no outside, there's no perimeter playing coming from Milwaukee. You look at, Brogdon. He was supposed to be, that third option for him, maybe fourth option. He's coming off the bench, try to move him around. There wasn't consistency coming from Brogdon. Middleton is your second legitimate scorer.
Well, I think there was a mistake having Budenholzer guard Kawhi Leonard, because
you mean
he had
Brogdon? You mean
no. Yeah, Chris Middleton actually guarded Kawhi Leonard. He had to expend so much energy guarding him, man. I mean, I don't think he had the legs in games 5 and 6 to actually to actually really get a shot off, man.
Listen, Middleton is he's got an ability to get to the basket. I don't think he was trying to get there as much, draw fouls. Now, you know how I feel about that. If your shots aren't falling, 2 things come along to play. Either give up the ball, try to move it around a little bit more, or you got to do one-on-one isolation play. Fine. Try to get to the line, try to get some fouls called against the guy guarding you, and then go from there. But none of that was pretty much done, but I think Nick Nurse's ability to say, listen, I have the best defensive player in the NBA on my team. Let me put him on Giannis and see what he can do. All right? And Giannis turned around and said, you know what? I can't get any freedom from this guy. I can't get looks at the basket. And if I do get some ability to get to the basket, here comes the third guy. Here comes Ibaka, who I thought was another ingenious decision, playing Ibaka more. Ibaka was involved.
Yeah.
Gasol is a poor man version of a lot of other centers in the NBA right now, but Gasol played a role.
Well, he was a featured player in Memphis, though. They ran a lot of their offense through him. Mm-hmm. And these guys actually, they came through. I didn't think they were. I thought we would see an example from the Philadelphia series with Toronto's bench, but Siakam came through. Fred VanVleet, man.
Oh, man.
He went off.
14 of 17 from the field from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
This guy was inconsistent.
Who actually saw that? You know, he was invisible. Invisible.
No one saw that. But I mean, listen, VanVleet comes off the bench because in the past he has been productive, but he wasn't productive in the first 2 series in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. This time, as the series progressed, this man he couldn't miss. He couldn't. That basket became as big as a barn door. He couldn't miss. So, needless to say, you know, at the end of the day, you know, Milwaukee has to sit back and say, what are going to be some of the things we got to correct in order to get back to the Eastern Conference next year, finals, and beyond. Well, Budenholzer, you're going to have to learn how to make in-game adjustments. We'll do a better job of it, number one. Number two, Giannis. Yes. Giannis, you're going to have to develop, in my opinion, a good mid-range jump shot. You're going to have to learn how to do more of a back-to-the-basketball game plan. That might not be his game. It just might not be. But he's going to have to come up with different arrangements of ways to get to the basket and score. And get to the free throw line a lot more. And work on your free throws, too.
Yeah, it was 68% from the line.
You know?
I think more so when he was actually getting to the paint, he was holding on to the ball too long. He wasn't releasing the basketball immediately, and you know, you were a shooter, man. You know, once the defense actually collapsed, you have to be ready to catch it and shoot. But if you're holding on now, you know, that 2, 3, maybe 4 second momentum is gone now.
And once the second guy starts rotating to you, and that will happen when you're hitting shots.
Yeah.
When that second guy rolls towards you, your solution is not to shoot the ball. Now you know if there's another guy coming at you, somebody else is open. All right? And that guy that's open is going to have to free himself, get into your line of sight so you can dish the ball off to him and go from there. That's the only time a jump shooter should really hold on to the basketball. If not, if you're one-on-one and you think you can get the ball, then go ahead and do it. But if you start hitting jump shots and that makes the defense wide open, that makes the defensive player.
Well, same thing with Brook Lopez. I mean, the ball goes into the hole, goes into the paint, never comes back out. That was always his weakness. I watched him for virtually all his career, and it was the same. He's a black hole. Ball goes in, ball doesn't come right back out. You know, very slow to actually. There was times he got swarmed in Game 6. He got collapsed on, and he didn't kick the ball back out to shooters or anything like that. Bledsoe was abysmal, 15%. From the 3-point line. They took a lot of bad shots too. I thought they took a lot of guys closing out to them on the 3-point line. They took a lot of those shots, contested 3-point shots, instead of getting a pump fake, getting past your man that's actually closing out on you. And maybe, use both sides of the floor.
Well, that's what happened. What you're saying is when a person closes out, there has to be an open spot in the paint. But then again, you're talking about the ability. Late in the game, Brook was sitting at the top of the key. And when the ball went to Brook, obviously, the defender closed down on Brook. And Brook realized, I don't have a shot. So he tried to put the ball on the floor and drive. He couldn't do that either.
Yeah.
So, he knows by basketball logic itself, the guy's rushing out to you trying to take away your look. Then you put the ball on the floor.
Well, I'm just not even Brook Lopez, George Hill, Malcolm Brogdon,
all of them,
Bledsoe, all of them. Yeah. Every single last one of them.
All of them. And you got to wonder at the end of the day what's going to happen when the off season comes along. Free agency obviously going to be upon us. What answers does Milwaukee have?
Now, Giannis said he wants the exact same team back. The exact same team. If you're the general manager, what do you do there? Do you bring the same guys back?
First of all, as a general manager, it's good that you give your star player the autonomy, your wrong choice of words, to give him at least an option to provide his opinion about what next year's team should be. So that's a good thing on the owner's part. Secondly, you have to do some great evaluation of your team. Find out if your team was beaten because their inability to shoot the basketball, or they were beaten because they weren't good enough to beat Toronto at a good time of the year. Then once you make that evaluation, if it comes to the point where we need better outside shooting, then you got to look out there in free agency and see who's out there available that can come to your team and fit in. Who out there right now we know is a pure jump shooter as a free agent? That's the thing.
You have Klay Thompson.
Klay's not leaving Golden State. They already told Clay what they're going to do, so you can leave that alone. Clay ain't leaving.
Okay.
But Clay would be a good approach. I mean, if you're Milwaukee, go approach him. See what happens. I mean, I don't see Clay moving over to Milwaukee. I don't see him leaving the Bay Area to go to Milwaukee, but, anything's possible. But I think my personal opinion, I'm not sure about yours, my personal opinion would be you do owe yourself as an owner to go out there and see what's available in regards to free agency, looking for someone who can give you outside consistent jump shooting opportunities, which will open up the paint for Giannis to do what he got to do. But then Giannis, you can't look at that and say, okay, cool, I can continue to drive the basketball and dunk on people. No, you're going to have to develop a mid-range, brother. You're going to have to find a way to score from other areas of the floor. All right? I do think it's somewhere you have to develop a better back-to-the-basket game plan, and you're going to have to shoot that mid-range, along with your ability to drive from the basket from the top of the key or from the perimeter, from the wing. You're going to have to do that. Because now you are going to be the NBA's MVP this year. I'm telling you right now, he's the MVP. It's not Harden. Harden, well, real close, but this is Giannis' year.
All right, so who is actually the best player in the NBA? Because I'm hearing a lot from the NBA pundits. Oh, it's Steph Curry. Is it LeBron still? Is it Giannis and Kawhi? Who do you actually think is really the best player in the world right now?
I would say, to Kawhi's credit, Kawhi's playing the best basketball out of anybody right now. But that doesn't make Kawhi the best player in the NBA. I think right now it's going to still be my expert opinion, well, close to my expert opinion. I would say KD is still the best player, but he's the best player now. I think he's slightly jumped over LeBron. Some people might shoot me down for it. Some will. Some might agree. Giannis, although I think he's going to be the MVP of this year, I don't think Giannis is just there because why? He doesn't have a jump shot yet. There's some things that's missing from Giannis' game. But the effect that Giannis had on his team, as well as the community itself, yeah, that's something to be reckoned with.
So if you're starting your team, you had a choice between the first player to pick. You and I we're picking teams. We're putting our teams together. Who are you taking first?
The first pick overall in the NBA draft, I'm going to take Giannis from wherever he came from.
yeah. All right. So,
why? Because Giannis is young.
Not exactly where in terms of the draft picks, but like right now, we're playing some PS3, whatever. I don't play it, but we're putting a team together or something like that, and just.
Now let's start with Giannis.
Start with Giannis, yeah.
Because of the youth. Listen, KD is the best player. The question was, is he the best player right now? Yes. But KD is going to be getting.
Now, see, I think it's Steph Curry, man. A lot of people are leaving him out, man. I just think when he crossed between him and Giannis, when they cross that half court line, all eyes turns onto those two players right there.
Okay.
All eyes. Giannis, even though I know Giannis, there's a lot of skills that he's actually missing, but the type of pressure that's actually put on the defense. Immediately as they touch the ball, like if Giannis is bringing the ball up half from he gets the half court, the entire defense shifts towards between Giannis and Steph Curry. So
okay, that's fair. But the first question would be, who's the best player? I would say it's Giannis. Then you're gonna say who you're starting your team with. I would say Giannis. Now Steph Curry's up there, but I'm looking at
about James Harden too. Now we forget. We're forgetting about James Harden. It's amazing. I mean, it just tells you how good the league is right now.
Well, James Harden has to be in that conversation, but unfortunately, James Harden. Listen, I'm not even going to use the stock as a reason. I think the reason why we didn't mention James Harden right now is because the last couple of years, James Harden has not been able to get his team to the NBA Finals. In Houston, it's the NBA Finals or bust. Let's just put it out there right now. And James Harden, for doing the things he's done during the regular season, year in and year out, I mean, just simply just scoring on people at will, you figure he would have enough to come through and say, you know what, I can will my team to the finals. But in D'Antoni's system, you're not going to win anything. That's just the unfortunate part. James Harden has to be in a system that is geared to his talents, but he has to have more consistency around him. Like, same thing with Giannis in this Eastern Conference Finals. You need to have more support around you. You can't score the points by yourself. But the way Harden was going about business is like, I can score the points by myself and then some. Not against Golden State, and probably not against Portland and all these other teams that's going to be coming next year in the Western Conference. You're going to have to find other ways in which to be successful. Sometimes giving up the basketball and letting other teammates on your team be just as consistent. I remember watching a Houston Rocket game one time, and I forgot who was I think it was Reggie Miller. He had made a very interesting comment. He said, "How is all the other guys supposed to have any consistency and rhythm if James is constantly bringing the ball up, being the point two, bringing the ball up the court, does a couple of behinds between the leg dribbles, he'll either drive to the basket or do a step back, pull up, and hit a three. That's all James has been doing here and there, but how are the other guys getting any kind of consistency when he's got the ball in his hands 90% of the time?" So that's a tribute to D'Antoni's system, and that's also a tribute to the fact that Harden can be a good isolation player, but that's not going to win you titles. You need to get somebody in there that's going to change the system around and put the ball in James Harden's hands at times, but you need other players more involved. But that's the Houston issue. But I'm just validating why Harden may not be mentioned right now at this table at this very second. I wouldn't use the word stock is lowering. I'm just saying that Harden's playoff success has not been all that good. This is Giannis' first playoff run, and it was a darn good one. All right? You talk about Steph Curry, as Rashid mentioned. Well, listen, Steph Curry, the man doesn't need to be introduced, man. The man's got a number of NBA championships. He doesn't have any NBA Final Award. He doesn't have any NBA MVP awards. You want to know why? Because the very same thing that I said needs to happen in Houston. He's deferred. He's had other players that can come out and be just as consistent. James Harden has to do the same thing in Houston. So it's good to mention Steph. But right now, you're talking about the big kahunas right now. Yeah, KD still has to be number one. Listen, LeBron goes without question. LeBron had many playoff successes. We can't even talk about LeBron, brother. Can't even talk about LeBron.
No, all right. Let's segue for a second here, man. Klay Thompson being left off the any All NBA team.
Okay.
You think he deserved that? It cost him $30 to $40 million in his next contract.
So I think he deserves to be on the All NBA team. Man, that's been the toughest question kind of to ask lately because Klay's numbers prove it to be, 24.1 points a game. And man, he's a pure scorer. And, there's a lot of teams that can go and bring Klay in and say, you know what, Klay, we want you leaders. And I think Klay can do it, but we got to understand something. Half of Klay's success has been predicated to what goes on with Steph. All right? I don't see Klay putting the ball through his legs, driving to the basket, beating people one-on-one. Steph has been able to do that, not Klay. Klay comes off a lot of curls and screens and spot-up jump shots. But he hits a lot.
He had a bad December. I guess he has to really understand that when you join a championship team like the Golden State Warriors, somebody has to sacrifice.
Yeah, he's been doing that. He's been doing that himself. He's a good defender. He runs the floor well. He runs well without the basketball. A lot of good things to say about Klay. He learned a lot from his father, who played the Lakers back in the late '80s. So we already know about the Thompson family. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, I don't know exactly how the press and and of course your peers and owners, everybody who has a say in deciding who's on the All NBA first team. But when you look at Klay's all-around game, yeah, there are some things you could say, well, he doesn't do what this guy does or that guy. But his point production is up there with everyone else. That's why we're having this conversation. But Klay is a guy that's predicated a lot of his success off his screen.
Yeah, but I guess I understand the value that he actually brings to any NBA team. You put him on any team, he fits any team.
But is Klay going to get you?
I guess they just looked at it from a productivity standpoint. He didn't really, have that great of a year. Kemba made it.
Kemba's a scorer. He's an assassin.
I agree.
But, you're talking about Kemba. See, that's the good thing about saying how this award is predicated. It's not just on playoff success. It's overall success. And we are, again, I've mentioned how many points a game Klay scores. Klay's up there well in the middle of the 20-point game, a game scorer. So that means he cannot be ignored. But when you put together all NBA team, there's only 5 players that can be on that team, and there's probably more than 5 players who are deserving. Since Klay has produced so well consistently on a team that's been consistent themselves, it's kind of hard to leave him off that list. But like I said, I will stick to my guns as to why I think Klay was left off that list. You know, a lot of things that Klay does successfully, again, within the Warriors' offensive system, is not predicated on his ability to go one-on-one isolation. Steph has been able to sit there, dribble that ball through his basket behind his back, and then take somebody one-on-one at the basket. And
so,
then,
do you actually think that Kevin Durant's presence there may have cost him?
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have cost him anything because everybody else had to take a step back to allow Kevin to come over there and be successful. So, no, if that's the case, then Draymond should be talking. Then Steph should be talking. Again, like I mentioned 5 minutes ago, Steph has not won one single NBA Finals MVP because it's been deferred to someone else. Iguodala.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant twice.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, and why? Because Iguodala is one of the more important pieces on that team. Okay, so it's about sharing the basketball. What has been Golden State's biggest tagline? Strength by numbers.
Yep.
Strength by numbers. So it's not one-on-one with anybody on that team. But again, I'll say it one more time. Because of Klay's productivity on offense, he has to be mentioned. He's been mentioned. Is he the best 5 guy out there? I don't know. Everybody's got a different opinion. But, you know, listen, I don't know about him losing $30-40 million over this. If that's the case, it's a darn shame. But I think Klay is worth the money that he's being offered. Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I definitely concur with Beric there. All right, next topic. What's going on in La La Land? I mean, you saw the the ESPN report.
I don't know, brother.
What's going over there? What's going on in La La Land, man?
It seems like La La Land got a big problem, and that problem is Jeanie Buss.
Okay,
Jeanie Buss.
I have to do some type of in production adjustments here, man. This battery on this camera is pretty trash. It's just garbage here, man. I mean, it's a new battery, and look at it already. Look at the actual
Well, you know, this is the exact reason why we have problems in all the basketball. You know, because somebody's battery is not doing well. You know.
I mean, it was fully charged, and then it was like, and then let's see, maybe charging it physically, and it's not going to reach.
Yeah. So I mean, listen. Here's the thing: when we talk about what's going on in La La Land, again, I would say it starts with Jeanie Buss. And where's the reason why it starts with Jeanie Buss? Because she's the owner. She's the owner. But she's got so many people in her left and right ear who don't have any basketball knowledge whatsoever.
No, well, the Rambus is his wife doesn't, but Linda, I mean,
so what? Does. Okay, then that's
Phil
my
Jackson
point.
Does.
Okay, so if Phil's in her left and right ear, I can understand that, but Phil doesn't have a position technically with the Lakers. Well, my point is that people who you are employing to be a part of a team need to be the ones that stepped up to you. And really, the only person you should have been talking to was the president of basketball operations, who at the time was Magic Johnson. Now, reports come out that Magic wasn't the best person to deal with. He had his days. We all had our days. Because he's Magic Johnson, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he wasn't in the office a lot. You got to look at a lot of the personnel moves that was approved by Magic Johnson. All right, listen. Yeah, I guess ESPN and a lot of the other talk shows and NBA radio basically dissected this already. What's next for the Lakers? Do they actually make a trade, or do they actually hope and pray that a marquee free agent is going to come over there this summer? Because I don't think agents are going to send their players there, man. It's a dumpster fire, man.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a dumpster fire either. I think you're going a little bit far on that one, brother. But I'm gonna tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, LeBron is the lure. He's the big fish, and there's got to be some people out there that want to play with LeBron. And I do believe somebody does. who we don't know right now. No one's tipping their hat at this moment, and I think every free agent out there.
What about Jimmy Butler? You think they can get him?
They could possibly get him, but he's not tipping his hat either. Everybody's agent right now. You just said it 2 seconds ago. Everybody's agent is like, I'm not going to do this. They're not going to tip their hat right now. We see what's going on in L.A., but L.A. Lakers, they're still a top brand. They're still one of the top franchises in all of sports. You know, Genie didn't mess the team up.
Well, that doesn't mean anything, though, today.
It does mean something because you're talking about playing in downtown Los Angeles. You're talking about playing around all the palm trees. You're talking about star-studded people going to the front row every night. It's the Los Angeles Lakers. You don't lose that stigma for nothing. This is the first time I've actually seen the Laker organization go through this mess.
Yeah.
So that says a lot about how well they've been able to maintain the franchise.
Well, it's been going on for a while now.
Well, no, listen.
Brother and Mitch Kupchak. I mean, Mitch Kupchak knew how to draft. He was an excellent drafter, an evaluation of talent.
Yeah, but everybody goes through that nonsense. Everybody's, I'm going to hire me a new player personnel guy. I'm going to hire me a new GM. I'm going to hire me a new president. These things go on a lot of different franchises. We're talking about the Lakers right now. This situation is going way past bedtime. Okay? Because of the simple fact that Jeannie has not allowed herself to sit back and say, you know what? Stop right here. I'm the owner of this team. And this is the direction I wish to go. Now you got Kobe sitting around talking to Pelinka, and Pelinka is the one who's been throwing his jabs left and right. At the end of the day, let's just say this. The Laker organization has a shot to get better. Now, the Clippers are they're ready to load up. But the Clippers aren't the draw. The Lakers are. And that's the unfortunate part. I won't touch that right now. It has to be a topic for another day. But right now, the Lakers got to sit there and say to themselves, look, Jeannie, you need to take full charge, once again, of this glorious franchise.
So basically, you need hard-ass Jeannie Buss who fired her brother, basically, right? Like,
oh, man, I ain't going there with that, man. We ain't pulling no race car with that, man. The Magic pulled himself out. First and foremost, he pulled himself out. He decided to walk out because he felt like there was too many backstabbers. I have to say to myself, we can only go by what they tell us. You know, we can read between the lines as best we can. We don't know what really said behind closed doors. Oh, you know what? You were effing this, you were effing that. We don't know. But if Pelinka wanted to get full autonomy, he's got it. What you going to do with it right now?
All right.
What you going to do with it right now?
Yeah, he's known as a liar. There was reports out there that Larry Nance Jr. Went to Rob Pelinka and asked him, "Hey, listen, I'm going to be here for the, at least for the foreseeable future. I want to actually buy a house." He says, "No, don't worry about it." Next day, got traded.
But that's an unfortunate concept of the business because I just sat there and said 2 minutes ago, agents are not going to let their clients tip their hat. No one's tipping their hat in this game. You know, I can walk in there and say, yo, I need full guarantee I'm going to be here. Sure, you're guaranteed. Well, it wasn't in writing. Did Pelinka give Nance Jr. and his representatives anything in writing? No. So if he got traded, he got traded. I think it's messed up when you go to somebody and get a gentleman's agreement, a gentleman's handshake, because that's what
which is still legal in a lot of states now.
Is it legal inside the Los Angeles
Lakers? And it was the same thing with
the
Carlos Boozer incident. I think Rob Pelinka represented Carlos Boozer, and they had a handshake agreement on Carlos Boozer actually, signing with Cleveland. You remember that? Next day, went to Utah.
Well, I think he had a great career in Utah, by the way, but we're going to go there. Here's the concept, though. I hear what you're saying. But I'm just trying to establish that it is a bit of a cutthroat world when it comes to that. You hire an agent to be your right-hand man. Your agent's job is to get you the best contract out there, get you the best situation based on your request, because he works for you.
Yeah.
But when you go into a person's office who has some type of understanding or some type of position, and that person will tell you, yeah, we got you, no problem. Next day you know you're gone. You've seen it happen on low-level jobs. You've seen it happen right before your eyes. You might have seen it happen to one of your friends.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
Absolutely.
So it doesn't make any difference because it happened in the professional landscape and professional basketball. It doesn't change anything. The bottom line is I'm not tipping my hat. I'm not giving you anything right now. And if you don't get anything in black and white, then you don't have an agreement. So that's what I feel about that.
All right. Free agency, Kyrie Irving to Brooklyn. There's a lot of stories out there. Vegas has them as the
odds-on favorite
to actually sign him. Brooklyn, we go hard. We go hard. Should I be excited?
I don't know.
Not really. No.
I don't know.
I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan here, man, and I should be excited. Excited, and I'm not really excited.
Well, who's going to fit this man in? Because he's not going to be traded.
Because you have Kobe. Now, Kobe's trying to talk to Kyrie now to come over to the Lakers.
Why not? Why not? Listen, everything right now, and I'm going to say this real quick. I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but the NBA Finals are a good match. It's going to be Toronto versus Golden State. Or Golden State versus Toronto, because Toronto has a home court edge in this series. So let me be exacting on this. But it's going to be a good NBA Finals, right? We're hoping for it. We're hoping for a good 6-7 game finals in this, right? To finish the whole basketball season.
Absolutely, I agree.
But I don't think everybody's really worried about that. I think everybody's worrying about the free agency period.
Listen, that's why I'm uber excited for this, man. Okay? Oh, man, I am. I really am.
I think a little bit more people, okay, yeah, man, let's watch this finals, man. Let's watch the NBA finals. It's going to be good. Yeah.
Well, wait.
But when the series is over, it's like, when is June 30th getting here? When is June 30th at 6 p.m. getting here? 6 p.m. June 30th. When's it going to get here? I want to know who's going where. Especially New York fans. And, you're talking about the Nets rumor to be the first in line to get Kyrie. Okay, let's touch that. Where's Kyrie going to fit into that system? Secondly, who's leaving? Because ain't nobody. You think you're going to keep the entire team intact if Kyrie come there? Think again. Somebody's gone.
Well, they're saying that D'Angelo Russell and Kyrie could work.
Yeah, but other pieces are going to have to leave. Think about it, man. You got your bench. Brooklyn's been a deep team.
They have enough for 2 max salary spots.
That's right. The Knicks have it.
I think you have to renounce
Clippers
Alan Crabbe. I know Alan Crabbe had a really bad season this year. He was injured, but I think there's a lot of value in Alan Crabbe. I know he makes about $19 million for somebody that was shooting 25% this year.
Can Alan Crabbe come over and start for us and help us get to the next level? That's going to be the number one question.
He was shooting 42.5% from catch and shoot threes. With the Portland Trail Blazers. He only had one really half a good year in Brooklyn.
So is that man going to help you go to the next level? That's the question. I think the answer is no. I think he can come on my team, come off the bench, and be serviceable. Yeah.
No, he's not a starter. He's
right. Okay, so then he's not a big
time. But I do like the Karis LeVert, D'Angelo Russell, Kyrie Irving, and there's a lot of rumors out there saying that Kevin Durant is in tow with Kyrie Irving. Wherever Kyrie's going, Kevin Durant's coming.
Then your whole team's going to be flip-flopped upside down.
Yeah.
Your whole team's going to be flip-flopped upside
down. Now, Anthony Davis likes Brooklyn all of a sudden now. If he gets traded over there, he wouldn't mind signing an extension there, but you would have to trade for him now. And you got to potentially trade half. You have to give up half your team and future draft picks and I don't know, man. You know how I feel about Anthony Davis. I'm not really that high on him to begin with.
Listen, Anthony Davis.
There's like 8 or 9 players I would take before him in terms of let's say if I was starting the team.
You crazy?
Only thing I do like about Anthony Davis is that he can actually switch 1 through 5. That's the only. He's mobile. He's he can move his feet laterally. He's a great help defender, but
this is a top player in the NBA. This is one of the top players in the NBA. Okay. Anthony Davis is the one. I asked you the question when you mentioned Alan Crabbe. Can this man take you to the next level? Anthony Davis has the capability of helping you go to the next level. So
I don't know about that because look what he hasn't done anything.
He did well. Okay, listen, he hasn't been consistent with, but the man hasn't been consistently healthy either.
Too much too. Exactly. He hasn't been healthy.
Okay,
exactly.
and then was a supporting cast. I keep telling you about the supporting cast. This one player can't do it all by himself. No one can.
He needs to actually elevate those other players around him.
But what if it's not his responsibility to do that, bro? There's some players in every sport that has led by example. Okay. Not bull rah rah. I don't know why people keep getting this concept that I gotta help elevate you. I gotta help do this for you. Listen, I'm gonna report to work. I'm gonna be the first one in the gym, the last one out the gym. This is how I work. A lot of times you see a young player coming up and saying, yeah, I want to be just like him. I watch him work. Like Jerry Rice, man. I'm going to go to football real quick. He's one of the best, probably the greatest wide receiver in football. Jerry Rice was always working. He was one of the first guys in the last one to leave. Every time he was working. All season he was working. Other players came in there and saw that. They rose to a certain level of better production because they saw that. So you're going to go and say Anthony Davis is going to raise people's... He doesn't mean... That may not be his responsibility, brother. We keep getting caught in this realm where the superstar has to be the one that raises everybody's... No, he can go in there, lead by example, show good work ethic, be consistent, and that's enough to lead.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's switch over to football real quick. The Giants' schedule came out. I saw it on Facebook that you actually... Now, we know in football the scheduling is everything, right?
Scheduling is 16 games, baby. That's all it is.
I mean, I'm talking about for your first 4 or 5 games and who's matched up against,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to get a good start.
Yeah. So a good start. What do you think about the schedule for the Giants?
Well, right now, I think the Giants' schedule is, they're a last place team. So, and let me explain how it's set up first and foremost before we get into it. Last place team get a last place schedule. With that being said, the Giants, they have to play the Patriots week 5 or week 6 on Thursday night. By the time they reach the Patriot game in Foxborough, you would hope they're 3-2. They open up the season against the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. The NFL, for whatever reason, the last 5 years have always wanted to see the Cowboys and Giants open up the season. Why? Because there's a very competitive game. Very competitive game. I think the Giants have a shot, but, with how they assembled the team and how they went out and draft and how they're fixing the offensive line, the general consensus of the Giants are probably going to be 1-5 by the time they see the Patriots.
Oh, come on.
Now, I don't believe that. I mean, as much as I know the game of football, or at least, I'm still learning a lot about it, but to this point in my time in life, I think the Giants have a legitimate shot to be either 2-3 or 3-2 by the time they see the Patriots. And the reason why I say that because you got to see a division. You got to play the outside conference, which is the AFC North. They'll be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Bengals, the Browns. Oh yeah, the Browns. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. They'll be playing the Patriots, the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins. And the Jets are going to be a lot better this year. We don't know what to expect from the Dolphins. We know the Bills are going to be hard to beat because they play hard every day, every game. And the Patriots are going to be the Patriots. So their schedule is going to be tough, but they got a last place schedule. So I think at the end of the day, they're going to be pretty good by week 6 when they play New England on Thursday night. I think my personal opinion, and of course this is my personal opinion, they'll be 3-2 by the time that happens. I think the Giants might surprise a little people from one game to the next. But I don't think the Giants are going to be a playoff team this year. But I do think they might come out the gate a little strong. We don't know how the middle part of the season or the end of the season will be conducted. But I do think they'll come out strong. But I don't think they'll make the playoffs this year. The reason why I'm saying that because a lot of things they're doing is still in rebuild mode. Dave Gettleman, the GM of the New York Giants, basically has been questioned quite a bit on certain decisions, and he's been known for letting big-time free agents, big star players walk out the door and/or refuse to re-sign them because he feel like he can do better elsewhere. Giant fans are hoping and praying this man has done the right thing. We don't know. We shall see. But to your question, once again, the New York Giants, I feel in my personal opinion, should be 3-2 by the time. The reason why I'm sectioning over because each season is based off 4 games. Okay? How are we doing by week 1 through 4? How are we doing between weeks 5 through 8, et cetera, et cetera? I don't know. But what I do know is, at the end of the day, by week 6, the Giants should be about 3-2. That's my personal opinion.
Now, the Jets actually fired their general manager, right?
No, the Jets didn't fire. Well, the Jets situation is a little different. The Jets situation is Mike McCadden was the GM of the New York Jets, and apparently him and Adam Gase, who has no success in the NFL as a head coach. He came from the Miami Dolphins. His record was below 500 in the time he was with the Miami Dolphins. Now he's been given autonomy to be the interim GM. Apparently him and Mike McCadden at the time did not have an agreement on how some of the draft was being taken care of, most importantly how they signed Le'Veon Bell, who didn't play last season because he held out with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Le'Veon Bell got paid over $50-something million to be now the running back of the New York Jets. Adam Gase felt like, no, you overpaid for this man. Adam Gase was not even involved in the drafting. McCagnon was. McCagnon was not a great GM. I'm going to put that out there. If you're going to fire this man, you should have fired him before the draft. You should have fired him long before the draft. Put
so
a new
it was
GM
like
in place.
the Knicks situation, right? They let Phil Jackson actually draft someone, and then fire him, basically, right?
Well, Phil Jackson
they drafted
Phil Jackson was
Ntilikina.
Yeah.
They fired him. Yeah,
they fired him, but Phil Jackson was in the middle of the season. The season hasn't started. McCagnon was fired already.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a difference. But you're going to fire a man after he's made his decision with the team in regards to personnel. Then you're not happy with the amount of money he paid a superstar who was a dual threat, catching the ball at the backfield as well as running the football. So I think he's going to be great for the Jets. But now you're telling me you put it out there that Le'Veon Bell was not the most wanted player on the Jet team. How does that make a guy like Le'Veon feel? I don't know. But Le'Veon's a professional. He will show up and play ball every Sunday. But Le'Veon hasn't played a full season in the last 5-6 years, including the fact he missed last season for holding out. So you don't know about the durability of Le'Veon Bell. That might be Adam Gase's problem.
Okay.
We shall see.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. Once again, hit the like button, smash the like button. When I watch other tube videos, I keep forgetting myself if the person doing the video doesn't actually mention that and actually like the video.
I like the video, but
it's just, saying there's a couple of guys on YouTube that I love, and I'm like, let me hit that like button, and I keep forgetting they have to mention it. All right, so smash the like button, take a hammer, smash the hell out of it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. This is Fired Up.
Fired Up, baby.
Fired Up, baby.
All right, we're gonna be back next week, and we're gonna get it going. We're gonna have topics on the NBA Finals by that time.
Yeah, we didn't even do the preview of the actual NBA Finals, but this camera is turning red on me. The battery.
Well, we didn't do it. Let's make it real quick. We didn't do it because right now you still have to. You don't know Kevin Durant's playing right now, so it's really hard to really give a real.
Well, he hasn't practiced. I don't even think he's only even playing.
He's not playing in Game 1.
I don't think he'll play in the series.
Yeah, but he did travel with the team.
There's no word of him practicing or anything.
But he's in Toronto. He's in Toronto. So there's signs he might play.
He better be there. Shit.
Well, he might play. He might play Game 2. I don't think he will, but he might. But anyway, real quickly, we don't know because I think if Toronto does play Golden State without Kevin Durant, Toronto has a shot to win. All right, I'll just throw that in real quick.
Yeah, what I would do is I would just keep Siakam on and Kawhi Leonard right on Clay and Steph, and if they switch, you got two excellent defenders contesting those 3-point shots and running them up the 3-point line, and Toronto should be fine.
So it should be fine. So we'll see what happens with it, but it should be an interesting series. But remember, we're still looking at the free agents process, which starts June 30th.